Hi, I'm Emmanuel, a passionate UI/UX designer with a focus on crafting seamless, user-centered experiences and beautiful interfaces. I'm a 300-level student at the University of Nigeria, currently studying computer science. In this video, I'll walk you through 4 of my most recent projects and share the thought process and impact behind each one. This is another website design, although here this is a redesign actually. So I basically redesigned a website for selling data, right? For buying and selling data. So this is a mobile and a desktop view at the same time. So I actually created 2 designs here. So the first thing we did, as per usual, went ahead understanding the customer base, right? So you have Deji, right? This is the customer profile. Deji, age 22, university student, freelance graphic designer, Lagos, Nigeria. So again, you have the traits: tech savvy, his motivations to save money on data, access affordable and reliable plans, convenient and easy platforms for data processes, explore new and innovative ways to stay connected online. So the goals here is to find the most affordable data plans available, ensure consistent and reliable data connectivity, streamline the data purchase process, discover new and exciting online experiences. So this persona represents the ideal customer for GSubs online, right? So this is actually a redesign for a real website, right? So again, going ahead here, I maintained the use of the gradients from the original site, right? So this is the wireframe I created. Again, it's a single page, a dashboard again. So this is like the second dashboard I've done here. So now let's go to the original design. So you can see here that it's not looking too good, right? The style is not consistent, right? The icons here are quite bulky. They are not really in tandem with the icons that are here, right? The ones here. The social media links actually are blocking information on the screen, right? And then another thing you can see is that some call to actions here, like you see here, kindly verify your account with your BVN or NIN, right? This is actually at the bottom of the page, right? When that's actually quite important information, right? Then you have information about the regular the package, the regular user package here. Then you have here asking for a referral link, right? This is all important calls to action, right? These are calls to action, but then they are at the bottom of this page, essentially. Basically, like once you load the page, like let's say if we're loading the page now, you would not be able to see them, right? Although these are very important calls to action. Here you have download the app, gets the Google Play, but this is at the very bottom of the page. Then you have transactions. This is to view your transaction history, also at the very bottom of the page. So what I did was that I brought a lot of the information that were at the bottom, a lot of the calls to action, the important information that were at the bottom that needed to be at the top. I brought them to the top of the page so that they are at the forefront of the user's line of sight immediately you load the page, right? So I went ahead and created this. So here we have, basically just following this kind of the same rationale, but then just structuring everything properly and using the right colors and the right layout. So here we have the profile, view profile, logout, the logo, the navigation here and the search bar. Then what I did here now, this is the wallet balance, these are the referral earnings, the call to action that says here it says what? Here it says, a very small thing. It says withdraw referral earnings, right? It's on this menu, but it's not supposed to be here. I put it here. So right where you see your referral earnings, you see the call to action to withdraw it right below it, right? So it's kind of like step by step. Once you see, okay, I have this much, the next thing you see is withdraw, right? So it's there. Then beside the balance, you now see on the other side, you see your account type, regular, verify account, NIN, BVN, right? So those calls to action where it was like to verify your account, I brought it up to the top because that's important information. The next thing you now see here is a very straight line, a very small column, right? It says enter referral code if you have one, and to enter your code, right? So that thing that was at the bottom here, I brought it to the top. Then another thing that I changed was where it says get the app on Google Play, right? Get on Google Play. I put it actually on the navigation, not the navigation, on the menu, the sidebar here, right? So you have your menu, and then I spaced this out differently from the other elements. I applied the gradient here, and I used a bright color for the icon here to draw the attention without, making it too distracting. So it kind of fits in with the sidebar without being, standing out too much. But then it's still unique from the other elements here, so that you can see that it says, or it's clearly to download the app, right? So instead of leaving that at the bottom of the page, I just put it here so that it's easy to access that information. The next thing I changed was the transactions, where it says view all your transactions, right? That's your transaction history. I just replaced it with the history option here. So now you have your data, airtime, TV, search decoder, electricity, history, fund wallet, educational, and recharge pin. And at the very base of the page, you have PalmPay, Money Points, Wema. This is just the account detail. This is the account detail for how you fund your wallet, right? And then for those social media links that were blocking the information on the page here, right? I brought them down. I used proper icons, the proper images of each company, and this is ideally is going to hover above the page, right? And you can see the background here is translucent, right? So it doesn't interfere with the information that you are seeing. You understand? That's just how I went about redesigning this page. I just made some very simple decisions. I also went ahead using consistent color. The color scheme is not very consistent. I just went ahead and I picked just 3 colors, actually 2. The only other color I used apart from that is the purple color for the calls to action, right? So it just has a consistent color scheme where your call to actions are purple, your sections are deep blue, the account details is in a gradient and all of that. So it just makes everything cohesive and easy on the eyes, right? And then bringing all the important information where they are easy to access and easy to view for your viewer. And then I went ahead basically taking this exact design, and I just adapted it to a mobile view. Everything here being compressed and condensed down to something that is easy to digest in a mobile view in your hands. So that is for design. For my first project, I was tasked with designing an e-commerce website for fashion items. The challenge here was to create an intuitive user experience while aligning with the client's brand identity. I began by researching the target audience. So here, I did a little bit of research and I created a user profile, and I called her as Alessandra. So this is the kind of person who is, grew up, was born and raised like in a Western society or in a Westernized society. She's educated, she's expressive, she's, someone who, likes to experiment and express herself through her fashion, the way she dresses, the way she kind of uses fashion as a mode of, showing who she is and all of that. Some of our goals here are expressing her individuality, that is to use fashion to express her unique personality. She's looking for high quality pieces, she wants sustainable fashion, she wants community and connection with people like her. So how boutiquing helps her? How boutiquing helps, right? It has a curated selection, it focuses on quality and sustainability, it also focuses on discoverability, right, with inclusive sizing and styling. So this persona demonstrates how boutiquing can appeal to a diverse range of customers by understanding their unique needs, preferences, and cultural context, right? So I started off by understanding who we are designing for, right? So I created this persona, Alessandra. So this is the ideal candidate for a product like this. Next, I used wireframes and prototypes to visualize my ideas before finalizing the design. I used wireframes and prototypes to kind of create like a basic understanding of what I wanted to create, understanding what the client needs, understanding the decisions that I was going to make ahead of time before I made them. After this process now, the wireframing and prototyping process, I then went ahead to finalize the design. So I basically, after deciding what I wanted the designs to look like, I then went ahead, added the fonts, the colors, the styles, the images, and everything that would basically convey the message that I want to the user. So I designed the home page first of all. Then the next page here, which is the store or the shop, I went ahead, I created the navigation here with some filters here, like just like some basic things that people will want to search for, right, without having to go through the search bar here. So this says jackets, so now we have a selection of different kinds of jackets here, right? This also says women, so you have jackets for women. This section just advertises items that are on sale across the website, right? So on sale we have this and that and that and that. Then it goes ahead to show some more of the same products. Then the next page I designed was the product info. So this is just ideally would show up when you click on a particular product, right, to see. So here we'd see the name of the product, the description here, the rating, the price, and you have the option to add to carts, to add to your wish list, the number, the amounts that you want to add, right? You also have different options to view different pictures, different images of the same product, in case you are contemplating. And then you have information, like basic information about the product. So here you would have things like how to manage the product, how to wash, the material is made of, how it was manufactured, just basic information about the product. This would be something that the seller or the designer would post on the while they are putting out their product on the site, right, so that the user can see it and read the information about the product here. Then at this next page is the cart page. So the cart, this is where all the products that you have added to cart, you can come to see them here, right? So right here you can see the little cart icon is in red, right, indicating that we are on the cart page, right? So we have these items with their prices and all of that displayed here, and on this side you have a summary of your prices and the subtotal and the shipping and total cost and everything. So delivery fee is not included, right? And then you have the checkout button. So you click that and it will take you to the checkout page, which is basically just like an e-receipt with basic information about the products that you bought. So I created these just 5 pages, kind of like as a concept to give like an encapsulation of what a site like this would look like, how to go about building it, how to go about understanding your users' wants, and how to tackle that. Next, I worked on redesigning the user interface for the dashboard for this medical healthcare brand called Epic, right? So this actually was unique because it was actually a challenge that was posted online on Twitter. So I was tasked with taking this user interface and then redesigning it into something that was a lot more modern. So the first step for this one was very similar to the last one. I started off with understanding the ideal customer or the ideal user for a product like this. So I did a little bit of research and I basically came up with this character here, this profile. The name here is Dr. Anya Sharma, right? her age is 34 years. She's a family physician, and she lives in an urban area with multiple clinics, right? So this is a young, well, relatively young Middle Eastern or South Asian doctor, right? Typically in a Western country like the United States or the United Kingdom, the goals of someone like this now is to enhance patient care, right? To increase efficiency in our workflow, to stay informed, access, medical knowledge, right? And reducing errors, to minimize errors in her, and to provide patient safety, right? So this is the priority of a doctor or a medical practitioner that will be using this kind of product, right? So some of our frustrations here, you have like data access inefficiency, data analysis challenges, and all of that. So having like an outdated user interface like that would pose this kind of frustrations to a healthcare provider like this. So basically redesigning here, I use this basically like as a foundation where I could then build upon. So how Epic Dashboard helps, centralizing data analysis, providing real-time information, improving communication, and thereby enhancing safety, right? So that is basically the idea that I used to start off my design process. Taking inspiration from the original design, right? This is kind of very scanty and very outdated looking. I then went ahead and created a wireframe. Since this is just one page, just a single page, a single dashboard. So I went ahead and started off by understanding, okay, how I would, just reorganize the whole page, right? So I'll go ahead to the design and show you that. So I basically took this and I translated it over here. So what I did here is this area where you can see the patient's information, I basically brought it out here, right? So this part is just like a translation of that. Then where you see comprehensive flow sheet, HBRL, handoff, overview, patient care, and all of that, I just took the information that was here, this quick view information, and I condensed it down to something that could fit here, right? And so this ideally would be a drop down where you would click and then you would see the remaining information, right? So I basically compressed all of that information here, right? I brought it down here, right? So this is when once you now click on it, then you now see more of that. What's the main problem here is that a lot of information is displayed, but at the same time no information is displayed, right? So you can see a lot of links and a lot of text, but there is no direct information being displayed. So you are not really seeing any numbers, you're not really seeing any graphs, you're not really seeing anything, right? So you would still have to go ahead and then click the links and all of that. So I solved that problem straight ahead by first of all grouping the information into the columns that are related to each other, right? So you can see what's here now. You see orders, significant events, medicine, right? So then when you look closely now, let's go back to the original design. So under orders, you have active orders, medication administration, and what's cancel individual lab collection, right? So instead of having them all of them displayed at once like this, I came here and I said orders, right? And then I used the remaining the other elements under the orders. I use them as filters, right? The active orders. So this is information for active orders. That is why this is highlighted here. The same thing here with results, the same thing here with perinatal. Using that same method, using the filters, using data visualizations, I used adequate data visualization materials for each item. So here we have medicine, therapy, oncology, pediatric neonatology, infection control reports, and all of that. So why I did design it like this is just so that once the viewer once the doctor opens up the dashboard, they are immediately seeing useful information that they can use without having to click through links. We can have everything kind of organized properly, spaced properly. Then here we have now the use of the filters, and also this little piece of text at the side here, just to provide context about the information that is being displayed here. So if we're seeing a graph here, what just says, it just says okay, like okay, this is up 6% from the last quarter, right? This is down 16%, this is down 23%. This is just giving extra information to the information that you're already seeing here, which is something that was not present in the original design. So this was a redesign, taking inspiration from this and creating something that just presents all that information in a more meaningful and easier to digest way. Each of these projects reflects my dedication to designing for real people and solving real problems. I aim to bring creativity, empathy, and strategic thinking into every design. If you're interested in working together or have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm currently open for junior product design positions, collaborations with developers, and high-value internship offers. Thanks for watching. Feel free to reach me via my email, social media, and phone number attached in the preceding email and the description of this video. I'm excited to connect.